Friday night at Coachella was hitting its peak. Sabrina Carpenter had just wrapped up a massive headline set, and the energy was electric. Thousands of fans stayed packed in tight around the main stage. They were waiting in the dark for the clock to strike midnight for the scheduled debut of Anyma's highly secretive new audiovisual show, ÆDEN. At 11:58 p.m., the normal festival protocol completely broke down. Staff abruptly cleared the photo pit, ordering photographers to evacuate the area immediately without giving a reason. 17 minutes later, the answer arrived. A severe push notification lit up thousands of phones across the festival grounds, and the massive screens flanking the dark stage broadcast a stark message. Due to high winds, Anyma's set was canceled. In a few confusing minutes, a year of intense planning and thousands of hours of technical labor simply vanished into the desert night, leaving the audience with a massive mystery. The backlash hit the internet almost instantly. Fans were furious and deeply confused. Because Anyma is an electronic music producer, the most common joke spreading online was literally too windy to press play. Anyma posted his own statement shortly after, expressing total devastation. He made it perfectly clear that the decision to cancel was entirely out of his hands. This reaction exposes a major blind spot in how we understand live events today. If an act relies heavily on a DJ mixer, the public expects them to roll out a couple of CDJs, plug them in, and salvage the night with a stripped-down emergency set. But when you stand in the crowd at a modern electronic festival, you are standing directly underneath a massive, volatile, temporary construction project. Anyma designed ÆDEN as an enormous, interconnected audiovisual installation, leaving traditional performance setups entirely behind. To build a screen of that scale, crews locked together hundreds of outdoor LED panels. These dense blocks of electronics are backed by rigid steel tri-frames, engineered to withstand the elements. Tens of thousands of pounds are suspended high in the air using temporary trussing and motorized hoists. When still, the system handles this static weight safely. But if the screen swings, you introduce dynamic rigging load, multiplying stress exponentially. Stripping down this set was a physical impossibility. The artist, the hoists, the screens, and the steel frame operate as a single, inextricably linked machine. On that Friday night, that machine faced 40-mile-per-hour desert winds, tearing through the Coachella Valley. This chart plots wind speed against pressure. The force doesn't scale linearly, it squares. A 40-mile-per-hour gust hitting an enormous LED wall acts like a giant sail, converting those winds into tens of thousands of pounds of lateral force, violently pushing the rig. The live event industry knows exactly what happens when those supports fail. In 2011, a 59-mile-per-hour gust hit the Indiana State Fair. The wind snapped the rigging straps, collapsing the massive roof structure into the crowd and killing 7 people. Coachella organizers were looking at wind pressure math, actively fighting off a catastrophic structural failure. Fans today expect sphere-level immersion in the middle of open fields. To meet that demand, staging companies are forced to erect temporary skyscrapers in a matter of days, balancing extreme visual ambition with shallow or non-existent foundations. To manage these immense risks, engineers establish strict action levels. When wind speeds cross specific pre-calculated thresholds, safety officers must halt construction, lower the production gear, and mandate full site evacuations. These towering metal structures are incredibly vulnerable once they are fully loaded with gear. A bare metal frame allows air to pass through, but once you pack it with dense lighting rigs, road cases, and massive screens, the stage effectively traps the wind, turning it into a giant parachute. Meteorological reality now dictates the absolute ceiling on live music innovation. Anyma's unplayed ÆDEN set represents the ultimate casualty of this conflict, a direct collision between human engineering and the blunt force of physics. Pulling the plug at 11:58 p.m. proved that the event's safety protocols were functioning exactly as intended. They protected thousands of lives when millions of dollars and massive hype were on the line. Looking back at that windy Friday night at the Coachella Festival, the greatest achievement was a massive disaster, successfully averted.